Let's take a look at the algebraic test for oddness. Okay, the algebraic test for oddness says if you plug negative x into a function, you should get the opposite of the entire output of the function. Okay, so that means here's g of x, right? G of x, f of x, whatever. The opposite of g of x, right, is the opposite of all of this, which would be negative x minus 2. So the opposite of this entire function is the opposite of every individual term. The positive x becomes negative, the positive 2 becomes negative. In order for this function to be considered odd, the second part to this test is to plug negative x into the original function. That would mean putting a negative x where the x was, but taking that original plus 2 and keeping it here. And then if we simplify this, we have these parentheses, but we don't need them because there's nothing being multiplied. There's no exponent. There's nothing else. This is really just negative x plus 2. So this is the output of negative x. This is the opposite of g of x. Are they equal? No. Therefore, we would say, therefore, not odd. Okay, not odd. Again, not saying that it's even, we're just saying that it's not odd. How about this? What does this graph look like? If you graphed this on a calculator or on a coordinate plane, what would it be? It'd be a line, right? With a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 2. So if I draw that freehand very quickly, right, it'd be something like this. That doesn't pass through the origin, and it doesn't rotate around the origin. It doesn't have any of that behavior, so we would know just from the graph itself that it can't be odd. Okay, let's look over here at this one. Here's g of x, the opposite of g of x, right? Because that's, again, part of this test is understanding what the opposite of the function would look like, would be taking this whole thing, right, and producing its opposite, which would be negative x cubed plus x. So here is the opposite of g of x. Is that what I get when I plug negative x in to the original function? That's negative x cubed minus negative x. Negative x cubed is a negative times a negative times a negative, so that's negative x cubed, minus a negative x is positive x. So we see these are the same. Therefore, this function is odd. And just as a final reminder, you could have noticed from the very beginning, here's an odd exponent, here's an odd exponent of 1, no floating constants. So again, just from the eyeball test of the function, you should be able to say, yes, this is an odd function.